Today we continue on Berkeley Socket Programming API, focusing on connectionless mode. Recall there are two modes of services are available through the socket interface in the API, connection-oriented and connectionless. The connectionless mode for UDP doesn't have connection setup overhead. It provides best effort service. The figure shows the sequence of socket calls for the connectionless mode. Overall, it looks simpler than that of connection-oriented mode. For the server, the socket creation call is similar to that in the connection-oriented mode, but the difference is that a programmer has to specify the socket type for UDP in the socket creation function. The type is sock_diagram. The binding function call at the server side is the same as that in the connection-oriented mode. For data transfer, the server uses a receive_from function to receive data from the socket. It is a blocking function. Note that the function name would be read in the connection-oriented mode. For the client, the socket creation call is the same as that in the server. For data transfer, the client uses a send_to function to send data to the socket. Note that the function name would be write in the connection-oriented mode. The server-side receive_from function waits when the data arrives. Note that the receive_from call returns data from at most one sent by the client, which is one datagram. So here, we see the difference between connection-oriented mode and connectionless mode. Precisely the difference between TCP stream service and UDP datagram service. Both server and client use close function when the socket is no longer needed. As illustration of the use of system calls and functions, let's see two programs communicate via TCP. The client prompts a user to type a line of text and sends to the server, and reads the data back from the server. The server acts as a simple echo server. In this example, each program expects a fixed number of bytes from the other end, defined by buffer length. The example code is given in the textbook chapter 2.4. In the following, we review the important code components. The binding system call is used to assign an address to the socket. The B0 function is to empty the allocated memory address for the data structure. A connection-oriented server indicates its willingness to receive connection requests by calling listen. Note the listen call has to specify the maximum number of connection requests that the system should queue while it waits the server to accept them. The maximum value is usually 5. Because TCP is stream-oriented, the received data may come in multiple pieces of byte streams independent of how data was sent at the other side. Therefore, the program has to make repeated calls to read until all the data has been received. At the client side, it knows server name but not its IP address. Client uses a name-to-address conversion function, getHostByName. The client establishes a connection on a socket by calling connect. It also does repeated calls to read until all the data has been received. Now let's look at the server-client example using UDP. Note that the data receipt can be done in a single call with receive_from, since UDP is block-oriented datagram service. Function getTimeOfDay can be used to gather important network statistics, such as latencies. Overall, the read and write code are simpler for both server and client programs in UDP mode compared to those in the TCP mode. UDP is unreliable, although the datagram losses are very rare in practice if the communication is restricted to a local area network. But in wide area network, datagrams may be frequently discarded by network. So users may have to take care of reliability assurance by themselves. For example, if the reply from the server doesn't reach the client will wait forever. In this case, the client must provide a timeout mechanism and retransmit the message. Also, Further reliability may be provided to order the datagrams at the receiver and to ensure that duplicated datagrams are discarded. We will learn reliable communication protocols in future lessons.